I've been working with this one company for a long time, writing articles for them as a freelancer. I stepped away from working with this company a little while ago because they had a change in management. Not in management, they had a change in the person that was handling the freelancers, and I didn't like this guy. He was a very unfriendly, disrespectful individual, and I needed the work at the time. I really did. But one of the things I've learned as a freelancer is you got to have boundaries. Recognize that your work is valuable. I'm no prima donna. Like, I work very hard, and I'm very willing to, do what the client wants. But there are limits. When someone is outright disrespectful, I'll be like, dude, fuck you. I'm not going to work with you. So this guy was outright disrespectful, and I spoke my mind. And the whole project just went to shit. It just died. I was very open with the freelancers on the team. And then the project died, and this guy ended up leaving. Then the project came back to life, and they got another guy in, great guy, really great guy. And they asked me to come back and do some work for them. And I was like, if the attitude is right, I can do the work, no problem. Because I was a little bit concerned that, we were going to get into the same bullshit as before. Anyway, the attitude was very cool, very nice working with this guy. But this company, they're cheapskates, and they talk around like they're not cheapskates, but they're cheapskates when it comes to freelancers. They want high quality content, but they don't really want high quality content. They don't really want to pay for it. Anyway, I managed to get, tons of work, and I had my hard limits, which were very competitive. After like an immense amount of negotiation, I got, paid what I wanted to get paid. Well, I would have gotten paid a bit more, but you got to be realistic in the market. But the company itself eventually pulled the plug. And they just did it from one day to the next, man. They were like, oh, sorry, none of you freelancers are going to have any work next month, So it's my second rodeo with these people. On the first rodeo, I learned a very important lesson, and that was to not depend on one major client. So, even though it's a bit of a bummer to, because they did make a nice chunk of income for me. And the first time that happened last year, I was up the creek without a paddle, man. And a lot of the freelancers there as well. Which was a good thing, because I had to really, really change my operating basis as a freelancer. I had to go find work elsewhere and get well known and start posting online, and am in a much better place than I was last time. I do have one more month of work from them because my work is very specialized, and unfortunately, a lot of the other freelancers, they didn't get away so easily. What's the moral? What's the point of the story? Never, ever, ever rely on a single client. Never, never.